Vianunga. Vianunga. David started?
What's the last name of the hero?
You got Kira?
What's that?
You got Kira?
You got hero?
Yeah, probably something like that. Maybe Kira. I don't know. I didn't think I'd be saying it anytime soon.
I might be wrong.
22, 24, and then 11.
Ready?
Just a heads up, they messed up on the roster and it's last name, first name.
Sometimes you just feel tired, feel weak. And when you feel weak, you feel like you want to just give up. But you got to you.
Yeah.
Just pull that shit out of you.
Anthony Hall, Jaden Grisdale, Gianni Vioto, Matthew Clement, Kevion Clark.
So I collapse, I'm spilling these raps. As long as you feel them to the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem. Subliminal thoughts when I'ma stop sending them. Women are caught in web, spin them in hot.
Valentine. Good, I'm Tony. Nice to meet you. Kevion Clark. Clement, yeah. Matthew Clement.
Welcome to the big show. Eat good, go, all America, are you serious? It is showtime, baby. Here we go.
Okay. We doing the women's game after? That's going to be on TV too? Are both live tomorrow? But tomorrow too? Okay. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of OCAA Men's Basketball. My name is Tony Frangus, and I will be your master of ceremonies this afternoon. Today, we bring you a tilt between the 1-1 Lambton Lions taking on the 1-0 Sault Cougars, making the 6+ hour drive down from Sault Ste. Marie this afternoon and for this weekend. How it works in the OCAA, at least between these two teams, is every other year they will swap a pair of home games. So the Sault Cougars come down this year for tonight and tomorrow, and next season the Lambton Lions will go up to Sault Ste. Marie for a pair of games to kind of balance it out. So as a result, the Lambton Lions do get an extra home game this season. And an interesting matchup that we have here today because, well, for the first time in many, many moons, I'm not sure how far back you have to go, the Sault Ste. Marie Cougars are in the win column without a loss. They're 1-0. Last week, ending a 60-loss streak in the regular season. Finally, in an overtime win against Canadore. As the game is now underway, DeAndre Reed, that's number 22 for the Lambton Lions with the block there. It is Cougars ball. The Lambton Lions coming into this one winning 11 consecutive games against the Sault Cougars. The last time the Sioux beat Lambton, you got to go back to November 16th, 2013, a 71-68 overtime win. As on the way up, he is fouled. That's number 8, Valentino Kiki. Lambton bringing a little more experience into this game than the Sault Cougars, as the Sault Cougars only have 3 players on their roster this year from last year's team. As the first free throw from Okiki will miss. I know it's kind of a sparse-looking crowd on the television this afternoon, but don't let that fool you. They can bring the volume, especially when it comes time for the opposing team to take free throws, as Okiki goes 0 for 2 from the line. And back come the Lambton Lions. That's DeAndre Reed up to Tybell Peters. Reed handing it back to Peters. Peters gets it opening. He looks for 3, slightly off the mark, and that is pulled down by number 24, Kevion Clark. Clark, a big presence for the Cougars down low. 9 points in their season opener against Canadore to go along with 15 rebounds. Formidable foe for Jason Watts, number 42 for the Lambton Lions, as Carden Edwards floats one in, number 21 for Lambton. Jason Watts, number 42, you'll see him on the court there with the green shoes coming into today's contest so far this season. He's sporting 24 points per game to go along with 11 rebounds and a pair of blocks. And coming up a little short there, that is number 9, Simon Wall. 32 points in their season opener against Canadore. Watts from the sideline rattles out. And back in the hands of the Cougars. 2 minutes gone here, low scoring affair. 2-0, the Lions lead the Cougars so far. Shot from Kevion Clark is a little short. Back comes Lambton, Carden Edwards. Is feeding number 3 there, making his season debut, Tyler Van Dyke. 6-foot guard out of Mississauga. He's a rookie on the team this year. DeAndre Reed now will go to the line for a pair, fouled by Wall. 1 for 1 so far. DeAndre Reed in the first couple of games this season, 13 points per game to go along with 11 boards, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. He does it all. As Reed goes 2 for 2. That's number 1, Stephen Miller, bringing it past half court now for the Sioux. Back in the hands of Miller. Sault Cougars only had 9 assists as a team in the season debut against Canada. Granted, they did win, but that's one of the things you're going to see them work on this afternoon is a lot more ball movement. By contrast, the Lambton Lions through 2 games averaging 24 assists as a team per game. Valentino Kiki. Offensive foul there, and it's going to get back in the hands of the Lambton Lions. Tyvel Peters, that's number 1, inbounding it to Carden Edwards. Edwards, the team leader in assists, 5.5 assists per game. 6 points to go along with 4 rebounds as well. He does a little bit of everything. Now in the hands of DeAndre Reed. Reed will drive. He is stripped. Thought there might have been a foul there, but he doesn't contest it. Now in the hands of Stephen Miller for the Sioux. In the corner, Kevion Clark. He drives baseline and high off the glass to finish. Just watching them in the pregame, the Sault Cougars. Very confident team, and the body language certainly changing compared to years past, and I think the attitude has changed, especially now that the streak is over, the infamous 60-game losing streak that went all the way back to 2016. It had been a while since they'd been in the win column. As Carden Edwards, first one will roll out. Second one is good for Carden Edwards. And honestly, you know, the volume just comes down to virtually 0 during those free throws. You can hear a pin drop, so excuse me if my tone changes whenever Lambton goes to the line there. Crowd's a little more vocal when the visiting team goes to the free throw line as the 3 from Clark is off the mark a little bit. Back comes Lambton. And over to DeAndre Reed. He fakes, drives, tries to feed Jason Watts underneath, but a little too much traffic in front of him, and the Sault Cougars here, they come in transition. And they're going to say that number 22, Matthew Clement, walked with it. It is Lions ball. 6:36 to go, 5-2. Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars. Here in OCAA men's basketball action. Thank you for watching this afternoon. Here on your TV, we're going to bring you select games throughout the season as Watts hits the 3. Stick around after this one as we bring you OCAA women's basketball. Same matchup, Lambton Lions versus the Sault Cougars, as the 3 attempt from Simon Wall will miss. Back comes Tyvel Peters. He'll go to the line for 1. Tyvel Peters, some minor struggles in the first couple of games of this season here. Only 10 points per game, a stark contrast to his 21.5 points per game from last season to lead the team. He's trying hard to reignite that offensive spark. Off to a good start now. Free throw is good from Peters. Now in the hands of Kevion Clark for the Sioux. Pass to Clement is picked off by DeAndre Reed. Jason Watts to Tyvel Peters in transition. That's a Kumba back out to Carden Edwards. He's thinking 3. It's well off the mark. Now in the hands of Simon Wall. Wall pulls up, long 2. Good. Big source of offense for the Sault Cougars. 32 of their 66 points in their opening night win. As Jason Watts pulls up for three, it rattles in. He's got a quick 6 here in the first 5 minutes of the contest. Okiki tries to get around Carden Edwards, feeds Simon Wall. He looks for three, can't hit it. I think that's going to be the name of the game for this afternoon for the Sault Cougars as the three misses from Peters. They're going to rule it Sioux ball. Simon Wall, 5 of 11 from 3 in their opening contest against Canadore. This pair of big bodies step in for Lambton. Dinesh Hegedus, that's number 13, and Darius Canty, number 12, the rookie out of Ecorse, Michigan, checking into the game. Commence lane is closed. They got to go back outside. Simon Wall pulls up near the free throw line. That's good for 2. Carden Edwards brings it past half court. Splits the defenders. Darius Canty now in the corner. He'll drive. Tries to go up and under. They're not going to call the foul, but they are going to say last touched by Sioux. Some questions up in the broadcast booth here as to whether that was a foul call or not. They are saying no down on the court. Lions ball, though. Carden Edwards, number 21, will inbound. Eventually. Any minute now as the deliberation continues. I think some adjustments need to be made up on the scoreboard, possibly to the shot clock as well. We're still waiting as to exactly what it's going to be. And now there will be a conference amongst the officiating staff. As the Jeopardy theme rings prominently here in the Lions Den. If you have not visited this complex yet, the beautiful athletics and fitness complex here at Lambton College, the official ribbon cutting a little bit over a year ago. Seating for about 1,200. And I promise you the games are a lot more exciting than the action that you are seeing at the moment. The cowbells still ring sparsely here throughout the Lions Den. And I think what's happening now is there's some sort of adjustment that needs to be made to either the shot clock or the game clock. We're still waiting to hear exactly which one it is. It is the score. Official score on the board right now is 13-6 in favor of the Lions. And there it will remain. As did the shot clock, as did the game clock. All right, here we go. Darius Canty driving, and now he's fouled on the way. He'll go to the line for 2. Number 2, Tyrell Miller is going to enter the game for Lambton. And number 2 for the Cougars, Nick Servant will enter it as well. First free throw from Darius Canty. No good. Canty goes 0 for 2 from the line. The rookie out of Ecorse, Michigan. Averaging about 7 points per game coming into this one. Go along with a pair of rebounds. I know minor illness last week, kind of reducing his minutes in the lineup, but you'll see a lot more of him as the season goes on. One of the more highly touted rookies in the OCAA as Dinesh Hegedus gets the loose ball. Now, in the hands of Tyrell Miller, back to Dinesh. The rookie Tyrell Miller tries to feed Hegedus near the baseline. Passes a little too far in front of him. It is Cougars ball. Number 10, Anthony Hall for the Cougars has checked into the game. You'll see him wearing the pink shoes. Hard to miss those on the court. Kevion Clark goes over to Valentine, now in the hands of Simon Wall. Wall drives. Gets over a pair of defenders' hands, and he'll go to the line for one. As number 1, Tyvel Peters will re-enter the game for Lambton in favor of Akumba. As by far the team's leading scorer, Simon Wall, completes the three-point play. He has 7 of the Sioux's 9 points here in the first quarter. It's now 13-9 in favor of the Lions. Tyrell Miller to Jason Watts. Watts trying to get an opening from Kevion Clark. Hand off to Tyvel Peters now. Peters feeds Darius Canty. Shot clock is down to 5. He gets over the defender. Simon Wall and Okiki going back and forth. Valentine Okiki back over to Simon Wall. He's thinking 3. That's slightly off the mark. Back in the hands of Anthony Hall for another 14 seconds. 3 will miss there as well. Collected once again by Wall. Another fresh 14 for them. And the turnaround jumper no good from number 2, Nick Servant. But they're able to finish. One of the little differences in OCAA basketball versus other versions you might see is if you do get the offensive rebound, the shot clock kind of resets. You get 14 seconds instead of 24, like you would in something like the NBA. Simon Wall, he'll drive, backs up to Dinesh. Turnaround is right off the mark, but back in the hands of the Cougars again. Shot clock is down to 5. Okiki tries to muscle his way in through Tyrell Miller, and he'll draw the foul. DeAndre Reed will re-enter the game for the Lambton Lions, and in comes number 6, Brian Senecal for the Sault Cougars. In favor of Kevion Clark, he'll get a break. First free throw is off the mark for Okiki. Not going to say it's a capacity crowd for the Lions faithful here today, but they are a vocal bunch. Jason Watts, catch and release from the corner. He gets his own rebound. That'll miss as well. Tyrell Miller can't chase it down. They are going to rule last touch by Sioux. Hagedus will re-enter the game for Lambton, and in comes Stephen Miller for the Cougars. Minute 40 to go, 15-12. Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars in OCAA men's basketball action live here at Lambton College on this Saturday, October 26th. And Darius Canty draws the foul off of Nick Servant. The Cougars certainly debating that call, but I'm hard-pressed to think of a case where players have debated a call and it ended up getting reversed. Darius Canty, first free throw is good. Second free throw from Darius Canty is good. 2 for 2 from the line, the rookie out of Ecorse, Michigan. Minute 28 to go, 17-12. Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars. Certainly hope you'll join us just after 6 o'clock as well as we bring you OCAA women's basketball here on your TV. They're going to say Stephen Miller walked with it. It is now Lions ball. Women's basketball at 6 o'clock will be the same matchup as you see here, Lambton Lions versus the Sault Cougars. As we bring you select OCAA games throughout the season, right here on your TV. Hagedus backs his way into the paint, but Can't finish the play. There's Darius Canty trying to strip Anthony Hall, but instead he'll recollect and finish. Tyrell Peters will bring it past half court. Hagedouche pulls up, finds DeAndre Reed. Reed floats it into Darius Canty in the paint, and that's good for 2. Canty's got 6 now here in the first quarter. But a 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. As Simon Wall launches the 3, slightly off the mark, pulled down by Tyrell Miller. Lions will get one last chance here, 9 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Trying to extend that 5-point lead. Miller mishandles it. Over and back with 3 seconds to go. It is Cougars ball. As well, thought Tyler Van Dyke was going to enter the game for Lambton. He'll sit back down. Maybe we'll see him in the second quarter. Simon Wall at the buzzer. Won't finish, and after 1, it is 19-14. The Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars here in OCAA men's basketball action. And I will tell you from history's experience, what it tells us would have been a much different story just about any other year, but the Sault Cougars hanging in there so far. As in the past, you go back the last few seasons, 60 consecutive losses up until last week after that big 66-65 win in overtime at Canadore, so a big win coming on the road as well. So for the Sault Cougars, 2 more road games here tonight and tomorrow here at Lambton College, and then finally their home opener next week. Whereas the Lambton Lions get 4 consecutive home games to start the season before they head out on the road. This play will resume in a little bit over a minute or so. We hope you'll join us here at the Lions Den for some home games here, as well, we got all kinds of fun things. We'll do t-shirt tosses when there's, what else? We get to shoot for $1,000 at halftime. One lucky attendee will, anyway. Can't say that goes for everybody, but there's always somebody. We've seen some close calls. Basically how it works is you have to make a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and a half-court shot. And you get 2 attempts at each of them. I haven't seen anybody do it, but like I said, we've seen some narrowly missed half-court shots in our time here at the Lions Den. We certainly hope you'll join us. Free admission to come and check out these games as well. And of course, be able to watch right here on your TV as well. We thank you for watching at home. Second quarter will get underway in just a few moments. Some of the highlights for the Lambton Lions. Big 6 points in the opening frame for Jason Watts, as well as off the bench, number 12, Darius Canty, scoring 6 points of his own. And really for the Sault Cougars, the bulk of the offensive output coming from number 9, Simon Wall. 7 points out of the Cougars' 14 in the opening quarter. And that's consistent with their season opener against Canadore, when he scored 32 of the team's 66 points, the only player for the Cougars in double digits. As we'll head into the second quarter here with Cougars ball, number 1, Stephen Miller, is going to inbound it to number 10, that is Anthony Hall. Anthony Hall, number 10, with the pink shoes. There's 7 points in the season debut for them at Canadore. As Kevion Clark has re-entered the game for the Cougars. On the outside, that is number 6, Brian Senecal, missing the 3. And back come the Lions, Carnett Edwards. To Tyler Van Dyke, who will hit the 3. The rookie out of Mississauga showing off his range. Senecal. Over to Anthony Hall. Hall mishandles it. It's collected by Edwards. Here come Edwards and Van Dyke in transition, but mishandled. We'll see if there was a foul call there. And he'll set up at the baseline, so whether it was out of bounds or whether it was a foul. It is Lions ball. Van Dyke has it now. Number 3 goes out to Tyvel Peters. Cross court to Carden Edwards. Edwards finds it open. DeAndre Reed, he's thinking 3. It rattles out. And it's pulled down by Hall. Hall over to Miller. Senecal back to Miller. And picked off by Tyvel Peters. Here he comes on the fast break, and he'll finish it. Quick timeout is taken by the Cougars. And it's just one too many passes off the mark there, and that's one of the things the Cougars were going to work on coming into this game in their opening match against Canadore. Just 9 assists as a team, so you imagine they're going to work on ball movement a little bit more. And that's what they've been trying to do. You see the ball going back and forth and a lot of movement, just perhaps one too many passes or one too many just off the mark. And there you saw the pickoff from Tyvel Peters for him to finish off with 2 points. As the lead is now extended to 10 for the Lambton Lions, it is 24-14 over the Sault Cougars. Though it might be a slight contrast from what you see in the marquee at the bottom of the screen there. Okay, now it's been remedied 24-14. As there has been some debate with the officiating staff and the scorekeepers table a couple of times today as to what should be on the scoreboard. Our apologies for any confusion, but I think we're sorted now. 24-14, 8:41 to go here in the second quarter. As Anthony Hall takes his time, bringing it up to half court. Hands it over to Kevion Clark. Now in the hands of Senecal. Back to Miller. Now in the hands of number 3, that is Jalen Moore Tucker. Off the mark, and back come the Lions. Tyvel Peters has it. Peters gets the pick set for him. A little bit of an opening. He is stripped. Carden Edwards trying to get a hold of it, as does Van Dyke, and he touches it last. As it rolls out of bounds, it is Cougars ball. Kevion Clark might have walked there, but no call. Go back to the videotape for that one, but pretty low stakes at this point in the game. Shots off the mark, here come the Lions. Carden Edwards has it. Tyvel Peters open for 3, fakes, hands it off to Van Dyke. He finds 3 from the corner. Carden Edwards with the emphatic fist pump over at half court, as the lead is extended to 13 now for Lambton. Senecal pull-up jumper, rattles out. He was touched on the way down. He'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Carden Edwards. Simon Wall and Valentino Kiki have re-entered the game for Sioux. And as the first free throw for Brian Senecal is good. The rookie out of Montreal, Quebec. Little too much on the second free throw, but the O-board pulled down by Kevion Clark. Senecal looks to make up for it with a 3, can't do it. And a third opportunity now for the Cougars. Kevion Clark goes around the back, tries to split the defenders. DeAndre Reed gets a hold of it, and here come the Lions. Quick transition as Carden Edwards tries to roll it in, can't do it. Watts gets the loose ball. They're saying offensive foul. It will be Cougars possession. Senecal is checking out of the game there, kind of grimacing as he favors a part of the body you just don't want to get hit in. 7 minutes to go, 27-15. Lions lead the Sault Cougars here in OCAA men's basketball action as Simon Wall pulls up Attempt is well short, as is the second opportunity from Kevion Clark. And those offensive rebounds really starting to rack up for the Cougars. And that might be what's keeping them in this contest. Van Dyke, his pass to DeAndre Reed is picked off. We're going to say Moore Tucker reached in. It will be Lions ball. It's Carden Edwards, Tyler Van Dyke take a seat. Darius Canty and Tyrell Miller re-enter the game, a pair of rookies for Lambton. Canty to DeAndre Reed, now to Tyrell Miller. Miller trying to get around the defender. He goes up and under, and that'll roll in. Lions really spreading the offense around here in the first half. It's number 3, Jalen Moore Tucker draws the foul. .608 to go, 29-17. Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars. As at the baseline is number 24 for the Cougars, Kevion Clark. Well, he's a formidable foe down low, 9 points to go along with 15 rebounds in that season opener against Canadore. Shot clock down to 6. They're going to say that Okiki walked. And it's Lambton possession. Tyvell Peters tips in the inbound to Tyrell Miller, number 2. Brings it past half court back to Peters. Tyvell Peters to an open DeAndre Reed. He's thinking 3, a little too much on the shot. O-board pulled down by Darius Canty. He can't finish. And back in the hands of the Cougars. Offensive rebounds have really been the story of this afternoon so far. As Tyrell Miller picks it off, kicked it. No call on it though, pulls up for the open 3, off the mark. As the newly checked in, Shakur Seymour trying to get a hold of it. That's number 5 for Lambton. And fed is Jalen Moore Tucker at the baseline for the Cougars. Lead at 10 right now for Lambton. It is 29-19. Pass a little too far out for Seymour to haul in. It is Cougars ball. Valentino Kiki now. 6'1" guard out of Calgary, Alberta. That's number 8 for the Sault Cougars, as the 3 from Simon Wall is well short. Seymour now. Trying to find a man. DeAndre Reed calls for it, hands it back to Seymour, who drives. He'll set up at the line for a pair. Good give and go work from Seymour. First free throw off the mark for Seymour. And the third-year wing out of Brampton, Ontario goes 1 for 2. It is incredible how quiet the place gets when Lambton does shoot a free throw. You can hear people tapping their feet on the other side of the court. Simon Wall for 3. That'll miss. Tyrell Miller gets the loose ball, and here comes Tyvell Peters on the fast break. I'm going to say he was fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for 2. In comes number 42, Jason Watts for the Lions. DeAndre Reed will get some rest. Tyvell Peters First free throw is good. 21.5 points per game last year for Tyvel Peters. He's up to 6 and 7 now with those 2 free throws. Wall and Miller going back and forth for the Cougars. Anthony Hall now looking for 3, won't get it. And back come the Lions in transition on the fast break. That is Darius Canty at the baseline. Great delay from Darius. And how about Darius Canty up to 8 points here in the first half. Number 11, Malika Kumba will re-enter the game for Lambton. Tyrell Miller will get a water break. On the floor now for the Lions, Tyvel Peters. Actually, nobody now. Everyone's taking a timeout. "60-second timeout for both sides here. 34-19, Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars with about 4 minutes to go here in the first half. And we invite you to join us again tomorrow afternoon here in person. Anyway, we will bring you the game eventually here on your TV tomorrow, but that will be on tape delay. As the Sault Cougars again in town here. The men will tip off around 1 p.m. The women's game will go at 3. And, of course, we bring you OCAA women's basketball live tonight as well. Just after 6 o'clock, we'll be opening tip-off. Again, the Lambton Lions versus the Sault Cougars. Got to hand it to Darius Canty, the rookie out of Ecorse, Michigan. That's number 12 for the Lambton Lions. Looking great here in the first half with 8 points. On his way to a career game so far in this one. Granted, it's his 3rd career game, but still it would be a career game. And a quick hello to the Canty family who watching today online here at lclions.ca. .403 to go, 34-19, Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars. Seymour and Jason Watts has it now. Long 2 off the mark. Some rapid ball movement from the Cougars pays off as Kevion Clark hits the short 2 at the baseline. Little slower pace of play by the Lions offense here. Tyvel Peters over to Shakur Seymour. Shack drives, can't find Canty. It's picked off, and here come the Cougars in transition. Anthony Hall gets his own rebound. That rattles out, and it's pulled down by Akumba. Back come the Lions. Darius Canty was trying to find Watts down low. Instead, he'll split the defenders. Tyvel Peters opens, pulls back, 3, bang! Tyvel Peters. That'll get him into double digits here in the first half. The Tyvel Peters we're used to seeing. As the shot from the Cougars will miss, back come the Lions. Akumba pulls up, he's looking for 3 of his own, rattles out. Had it lined up perfectly, just a little too much mustard on that. Simon Wall from 3. That'll put him in double digits. Tyvel Peters now pulls up looking for another 3. Starting to feel the hot hand, but that one just off a bit. 2:10 to go here in the first half. Lions lead by 13. It's 37-24. Darius Canty looks like he's going to sit down, and Shakur Seymour will as well. Dinesh Hegedus and Tyler Grievers enter the game for the Lions. Tyler Grievers, number 24. Ball finds Clark down low. Reavers fouls him on the way up. He'll go to the line for 2. And out come the Cowbells as Kevion Clark attempts his first free throw. Like I said, kind of a sparse crowd today, but a very vocal one as Clark hits the second free throw. Reavers inbounding to Tyvel Peters. Peters to Hegedus. Hegedus in the corner, picks up his dribble, finds an open Jason Watts, and he'll finish. Watts is up to 8 here in the first half. Simon Wall, 3. Well short. Loose ball is collected by Jason Watts, and it looks like there was a collision there between Kevion Clark. Didn't catch who it was that collided with him. Clark gets up under his own power, though, seems to be fine. Heading towards the bench. And he will sit for likely the rest of the first half. Here's Brian Senecal, number 6, will enter the game for the Cougars. Carden Edwards, or pardon me, that's Malika Kumba. Handing it off to Tyvel Peters. As Tyvel Peters tries to float one in. Loose ball off the hands of Jason Watson, out of bounds. Kevion Clark is just fine. Just needed a quick sip of water, perhaps. He's back in the game. Missed about 8 seconds on the game clock. Pass picked off by Jason Watts. Outlet pass to Tyvel Peters, and he'll roll it in. Give Tyvel Peters a dozen here in the first half. Simon Wall might have walked there, but no call, and he's good for 2. And he's up to 12. Peters feeds Jason Watts. And Jason Watts is going to set up at the free throw line for 2 as Petrolia's Mason Hyde will enter the game for Lambton. First free throw from Jason Watts is good. He's up to 9 this afternoon. And Watts goes 2 for 2 from the line. As Jason Watts will sit, Mason Hyde comes in. Second year forward, 6'3" out of Petrolia. Get to see some action here in the final minute of the first half. Kevion Clark, cross to Miller, now in the hands of Anthony Hall. Simon Wall to Hall. Kevion Clark from the corner, no good, pulled down by Hall, and there's another 14 seconds for them. But an 8-second difference, 9 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. As shot clock is down to 3, Miller pulls up. Leans into it, but no good. And now the Lions have about 5 seconds to work some magic here. 43-30 is the score. Tyvel Peters, long 3 off the front of the rim. But what a first half he had. The return of Tyvel Peters, we'll like to call it here, is 21.5 point per game form from last year seems to be back. He had averaged 10 points per game in the first couple of games this season here, but now he's up to 12 in the first half. And we'll take a short break here. 15 minutes, the second half will get underway here. It is 43-30. The Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars in OCAA men's basketball action right here on your TV. Stay with us. watching OCAA men's basketball here on your TV. My name is Tony Frangus. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. At the half, it is the Lambton Lions leading the Sault Cougars by a score of 43-30. Entering this game, the Lambton Lions have won 11 consecutive matches against the Sault Cougars. And you got to go back to, where was the exact date? Had it here. It was November 16th, 2013, the last time the Sault Cougars defeated the Lambton Lions. And that was an overtime game, so 11 straight wins ever since. And the culture with the Sault Cougars trying to change a little bit coming into last week. As we have the draw here. And by the way, what happens at these home games is some lucky contestant gets to shoot a free throw, a layup, a three-pointer. And if they hit, they get 2 attempts at each. And if they hit one, then they get a half-court shot for $1,000. Possibly more.
Okay.
Nonetheless, anyway, on we go. Let's look back at the first half here for the Lambton Lions. And they tell you the story really is Tyvel Peters coming into tonight's game, 10 points per game, and he was the last year leading scorer for the Lambton Lions, 21.5 points per game, and has surged for a 12-point output right here in the first half against the Sault Cougars. One of the other big names we're looking at, too, is Darius Canty, the rookie out of Ecorse, Michigan, for the Lambton Lions. He had 8 points in the first half, far eclipsing his 7 points per game pace as we head into this game tonight here. And on the other side for the Sault Cougars, pretty much one story. It's number 9, Simon Wall, 12 points here in the first half. As right next to me here is public address announcer Dave Walls announcing the commentary here for the lucky contestant who gets to attempt a layup, who he just hit his first one. Let's watch the free throw. That goes in. He's halfway to $1,000. That's how it works here. He gets 2 shots at the three-pointer here. If he hits one of them, he gets to shoot from half court. Not bad. One more attempt here. He hits this. He'll get a half-court shot for $1,000. And just a little off the mark. See, some of the fun things we do here at Lambton Lions home games, we certainly hope you'll join us here in person. But in the meantime, thank you for watching this afternoon on your TV as we bring you OCAA basketball throughout the season. Coming up at 6 o'clock, the women will tip off. Same matchup, Lambton Lions versus the Sault Cougars. We will get to the second half here in about 7 minutes' time is when the inbound will start the second half here. The score right now, the Lambton Lions leading the Sault Cougars by a score of 43-30 here at Lambton College in OCAA men's basketball action. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Work out this time, and Niagara picks it up to come back. Getting right in the way of that again. There they go, picking it up. Spears. With the goal there, out front to Crow. Beautifully done. Getting in the way of the ball again, and Crow picking it up again, and here's an open shot, and it goes. Beautiful. Well played by Lions. Wow. While it doesn't work out, that's just showing you how Crow and the Lions are right where they need to be. Eye on the ball, picking it up. Closing all the gaps here. Looking to create some opportunity here. Lions back in control of the ball. Wag looking for a 3. Back out front, another shot, and there it is. Back out to Schroeder. Picked up and you pass out front to Crow. And again, right where she needs to be. If she tries to pick it up. Here comes Crow for the Lions all the way through, and just like that, that's how you do it. In front to Crow. Can't let her have the ball. Gagnon with the ball. Pettit. Great shot by Pettit coming from Anya. Seats around. Lots of good passes here with Lambton Lions. With the ball right now. Inside, and wants to go through, and it does.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Heading away. Here she goes. Here's pretty little opportunity.
Cause I see you watching. So let's go. Let's get it poppin'.
Cause I be leaning on the wall, the complaint of the response won't give me my prize. 25 on the bank, I be stunting on the ass, any man, cause the bitch won't stop.
That will piece it up there, and the Lions win their home opener here tonight at Lambton College against the Niagara Knights. Definitely dominated.
Hello, good morning, how you doing? What the move here? Welcome to the future, I'm the captain of the cool kids. The revolution's never been televised. Great biggie, better thighs, I ain't gonna tell her bye. First I tell her hi, then I give her one and let her fly. Never tell a lie, tonight you couldn't find a better guy. King shit, fly to anyone you been seen with. Gangsta distinguished, cool as a penguin. Got a team of them, honey, feel free to bring with. She fine, wait and fly away at my convenience. You sing tip, checking in a 5-star suite with some 5-star freaks, getting high all week. Catch me in the wee hours of the night when y'all sleep. In a fast car, super bad broads back seat. That's me, see I'm nothing nice. Fuck a couple nights till the moon say goodbye and the sun greeting us like hello. Good morning. Let's go. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good evening. You got lay up. Yeah.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh. Put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they see, that's how that shit down made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you'll never have to pay me. Don't and put your hands up, and times is how you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on alright. Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the trying to hold them back. Five in the air for the teachers not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that they're coming back, that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war for these ghetto girls and boys I'm rapping around the world for. Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour. Oakland out to Auckland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop on the destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a and never be a D-boy.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on alright. Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they will see the sun up? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on.
So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see. When you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you're struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on.
OCAA men's basketball on your TV as the second half gets underway in just a moment. Here the Lambton Lions leading the Sault Cougars by a score of 43-30. A couple of stories from the first half really include things like field goal percentage. One of the big differences right now, the Lambton Lions shooting 44% from the field. The Cougars from the Sault a little bit under 33, and that's one mark that they're really going to try to improve on as we get into the second half here. But what's keeping the Sault in this one? Offensive rebounds, 7 of them compared to just 2 for the Lambton Lions. And what we were talking about as we got into the start of this game here was ball movement on the part of the Cougars. Haven't seen much benefits from it so far here, as they had just 3 assists as a team in the first half. Clark, Wall, and Miller with 1 each. Now, second half is now underway. Tyvell Peters has it. Finds Carden Edwards in the corner. He's thinking 3, won't go, and back come the Cougars. Stephen Miller. Now in the hands of Simon Wall. Tries to find Clement underneath. Kevion Clark drives. His lane is closed, and back outside off the foot of Carden Edwards. It is Cougars ball. And just a quick shot clock adjustment we were waiting on there. It was sitting at 9 seconds, now the proper 14. However, still some debate. Just waiting to hear exactly what that debate is. However, it looks like we're good to go. Kevion Clark will inbound to Miller. Now in the hands of Okiki, back to Simon Wall. And they're going to say Simon Wall walked with it. Lions ball. Tyvell Peters will inbound it. That is Carden Edwards who has it now, number 21, back in the game. Brings it past half court. And he tries to find DeAndre Reed driving, but the pass is blocked, and now in the hands of Dinesh Hegedus in the corner for 3. Probably the most traveled player on the court today, coming to us from Hungary. Simon Wall, 3, no. Tyvell Peters there with the rebound, though, spins around the defender. He finds a wide open Carden Edwards. He has time to think about that one. That's good for 3. Carden Edwards with the tray. Haven't seen much from him offensively this afternoon, but he's now matched his average for the season here with 6 points per game. Really more so the guy who's going to move the ball around, with 5.5 assists per game entering today. Back come the Lions. Outlet pass to a wide open Jason Watts. And a timeout very quickly called by the Cougars as they try and collect here, as the Lions go on an 8-0 run in the first minute 50 here of this third quarter. Biggest lead of the game was 16 by the Lions. It had squeezed down to 13 points and now has exploded to a 21-point lead here just a couple of minutes into the third quarter. Lions still with only 2 players in double digits, though. Tyvell Peters with 12 in the first half, and Jason Watts now up to 12 after that fast break. Tomorrow afternoon, these 2 teams will square off one more time for the season. 1 o'clock tip-off here live at the Lions Den. We cordially invite you to join us live in person. We will eventually bring you the broadcast here on your TV. That one might be on a tape delay, but we are live on this Saturday, October 26th. We thank you so much for joining us here. And so for supporting OCAA men's basketball, we certainly hope to see you at the games. And for those who are watching as well, a heartfelt thank you from myself, all of us here in the booth, and the entire production team. It is Cougars ball, 51-30. Lambton Lions lead. Stephen Miller is going to bring it past half court. Miller to Wall. Back to Miller. In the hands of Okiki. Miller resetting now in the hands of Simon Wall. And off the bump, we're going to say Cougars ball. Number 22 for the Cougars, Matthew Clement. He was going to check into the scorekeeper's table. Looks like he is visiting the trainer. Out of bounds, it is Lions ball. As Tyville Peters will inbound it to Carden Edwards. That's number 21 for Lambton. Slowing things down, knowing that they have a comfortable lead right now, 21 points. Hagedus tries to find Jason Watts at the baseline. Off his hands, and it is Cougars ball. .740 to go here in the third quarter, 51-30, Lions lead it. Okiki to Miller, to Simon Wall. Gets around the defender, pull-up jumper is good for a pair, he's got 14. Well on his way to being the team's leading scorer this year as DeAndre Reed's three will miss. Simon Wall for the Sault Cougars as Watts puts that one back. Simon Wall, 32 points in the season opener for the Sault against Canadore, the only Cougars player to hit double digits, and that remains true in today's game. I'm going to say the Cougars walk there. It is Lions ball. Now Simon Wall, the only player to hit double digits for the Cougars last week and the only person to do it so far today. However, still plenty of game to be played. As the pass is off the mark from Edwards, it is Cougars ball. Next closest for the Cougars would be Kevion Clark with 6. Wall finds Okiki to Clark. Back to Okiki. Okiki got an elbow into the face of Hagedus. No call there, and the outlet pass a little too far ahead of Tyville Peters. Now back in the hands of the Cougars. Down low, that was stripped by number 2, Nick Servant. However, the Cougars collect it. Good for 2. And both DeAndre Reed and Danish Hagedus appear to be walking wounded, the both of them. I don't know if there was a collision there, but DeAndre Reed is going to take a seat. Hagedus will remain in the game. Number 20, Spencer Bailey, will enter the game for the Lions. Bailey, the 6'9" rookie out of right here in Sarnia. DeAndre Reed is stepping away from the bench. He's going to go visit the trainer. Assistant coach Keith Consism escorting him over there, certainly hoping he's okay. As we are back in play here, Carden Edwards trying to get around Clark, finds Jason Watts, tries to go over the defenders. Won't work for him. Back in the hands of Simon Wall for the Cougars. Stephen Miller has it now. He goes cross court to Anthony Hall, to Kevion Clark, back to Hall. Hall trying to get around Hagedus at the definite size disadvantage, but he's able to draw the foul. .553 to go here in the third quarter. Lambton Lions lead it 53-34 over the Sault Cougars. Simon Wall launches the three. Perfect shot. He's up to 17. Carden Edwards gets around the defender, tries to feed Spencer Bailey, coming up behind him, bobbles it. Hagedoosh able to recover though. Tyvel Peters now 3, yes! Give Tyvel Peters 15 on the afternoon. Simon Wall has it now over to Miller, to Hall. Back in the hands of Miller. Simon Wall for 3, he hits it again. And he's heating up. 56-40 now the Lions lead as we hit the halfway mark of the third quarter. Carden Edwards, long 3, couple of steps back, rattles in though. This is starting to look like we're watching a Golden State Warriors game or something like that. Nothing but 3-point attempts. Simon Walls, his last attempt is short there. Edwards for 3, yes! I'm beginning to think this is going to be a higher scoring game than we initially anticipated. Anthony Hall from long range, and that'll go. And Carden Edwards trying to change things up and actually take a shot from inside the arc. He's fouled on the way and he'll set up for 2. Ward Tucker and Senecal will enter the game for the Cougars. Darius Canty is back in the game for the Lions as Hagedoosh will take a seat. Carden Edwards will shoot 2 for the Lions. First one rolls out. Carden Edwards up to 12 points this afternoon. Make it 13 as he goes 1 for 2 from the line, and the lead back up to 20 for Lambton. Anthony Hall to Miller to Senecal. Was thinking to go cross court. They work its way around the horn. And driving is Stephen Miller. Gets it over the hand of Watts, but the shot won't go. Trying to muscle his way in for 2 is Jalen Moore Tucker. Tyvel Peters has it now. Pick is set for him. He'll launch the 3. It's off, but Jason Watts with the emphatic one-handed dunk to restore the 20-point lead for the Lions. Here's Anthony Hall for a trade. No. And a collision over at the sideline between Watts and Amos Varfey. Or pardon me, it was Stephen Miller. Tyrell Miller back in the game for the Lambton Lions. To go along with Spencer Bailey, Tyvel Peters, Darius Canty, and Malika Kumba on the court for Lambton. Bailey pulls down the board. Hands it over to Miller. Miller drives. Coast to coast, Tyrell Miller. Lead now up to 22 for Lambton College. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. As you're starting to see more of the support staff for Lambton finding their way onto the court. Pull up 2 is good for Wall. Tyvel Peters bringing it past half court. He looks to drive. Gets it over the hands of the defenders, and that's good for 2. Give him 17. Wall will drive, almost stripped by Bailey. His shot will miss. There's Spencer Bailey to collect the loose ball. Hands it over to Malika Kumba. Now to Tyrell Miller. Miller, pull-up jumper, long 2, will miss. Darius Canty and Simon Wall battling for it. And they're going to call Darius Canty for the hug. It's Cougars ball. Anthony Hall to Senecal, back to Hall. to Miller to Simon Wall. And we don't mean for this to be rhyme time here on the OCAA broadcast on your TV. That's just how the roster and the passes worked out. 2:04 to go. Lions lead by 22 here in the third quarter. As that is number 1, Stephen Miller, who will set up at the line for 2, the second-year, 5'11" guard out of Toronto. Only 2 points this afternoon. Make it 3. You gotta hand it to the Lions fans here. They certainly get into it. No matter how many or how few are in attendance here, they like to make their presence known during those visitors' free throws. As the second one misses, Canty almost tipping it into the opposing net, but crisis averted. Back come the Lions. Tyvel Peters aggressively driving. Applause from the bench as he draws the and one. And that is Tyler Van Dyke, who will enter the game. Now Spencer Bailey will sit. And that's a big point for Tyvel Peters, as he is now up to 20 for the first time this season. Kevion Clark will re-enter the game for the Cougars. Simon Wall will sit, and Stephen Miller will bring it past half court for the Sioux. Over to Anthony Hall. Hands it off to Kevion Clark. Now in the hands of number 3, Jalen Moore-Tucker to Senecal. See a lot of passing, a lot of ball movement from the Cougars. You can see they're trying very hard to work on it. It's just not translating on the scoreboard. Quick timeout is taken. 72-48, Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars here in OCAA men's basketball action here on your TV. We hope you'll join us just after 6 o'clock. That is when the women's teams will tip off. Again, the same matchup, Lambton versus Sault. Same matchups will happen here tomorrow at the Lions Den. Those games will eventually be broadcast here on your TV. Those games will be brought to you and taped away. And we certainly thank you for watching us here on your TV and supporting OCAA athletics, and particularly basketball, as all schools have worked very hard to make their presence known, and it's a good quality product that gets out there. It's great basketball. We hope to see you here in person at the Lions Den at some point, or if you're watching from long distance, whatever the nearest OCAA facility would be for you. On the floor now for the Lambton Lions, Darius Canty, Malik Akumba, Tyler Van Dyke, Tyrell Miller, and Tyvel Peters. For the Cougars, Valentine Okiki, Stephen Miller, Brian Senecal, Kevion Clark, and number 3, Jalen Moore-Tucker. That's Tyrell Miller who has it now for the Lions. He'll bring it to half court. Stephen Miller guarding him close. Hand off to Tyvel Peters. Peters gets the pick set for him, won't work though. Darius Canty fed in the paint, waved off. I'm going to see what the setup here looks like. The foul came before the shot, so Peters will inbound it to Darius Canty. Canty trying to work his way around Moore-Tucker. Almost stripped. He recollects it, though. Picks up his dribble, and now in the hands of Tyrell Miller. Shot clock down to 2. Miller pulls up. Well short. Shot clock violation, but since the Cougars got possession, they will just let it roll. Kevion Clark looking to Senecal. Senecal inside to Moore-Tucker to Kevion Clark to finish. 48 seconds to go, 72-50. Lions lead the Cougars. Minor collision between Peters and the Millers. Apologize for any colorful language that might have been picked up there. You can imagine that things get a little heated out on the court there sometimes. Cougars ball here, 38 seconds to go. Moore Tucker to Senecal. He looks for three. Flawless form from Brian Senecal. A couple of steps back from the arc there too. Might have been an NBA three. About a 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. Tyrell Miller drives. Finds the spot on the glass, and that's good for two. And from half court, trying to heat it, that's Okiki, won't go. Neither will the post buzzer shot from Tyrell Peters. And the Lions well on their way here, 76-53. They lead the Sault Cougars after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter action will get underway in about a minute 45 here. Leading the way for the Lambton Lions, it is Tyrell Peters. Through the first 2 games this season, just 10 points per game, but he has bounced back this afternoon with 20 points in the first 3 quarters of this one. Bit of a return to form for the Lions' leading scorer from last season. And on the opposing side, we're still waiting to see if anyone other than Simon Wall will hit double digits. It didn't happen in the last game as he scored 32 of the team's 66. Right now he's leading the way for them as well. Only player in double digits, but a couple of players knocking on the door for them. Kevion Clark and Jalen Moore Tucker have 8 points each. This will get underway again in about a minute here. Once again tomorrow afternoon, more OCAA basketball here at the Lions Den as the Sault Cougars will face off one more time against the Lambton Lions before Sault Ste. Marie gets their home opener. Lions will head out on the road. And we certainly hope you'll join us throughout the season here. A big thank you to the production crew here from Your TV this afternoon, up in the booth with us and back at the station on Confederation Street. And a big thanks to you for watching at home. Looks like to start the fourth quarter for the Lions, it will be Tyler Van Dyke, Tyrell Miller, Carden Edwards, Darius Canty, and Malik Akumba on the floor. For the Cougars, it is Valentine Okiki, Stephen Miller, Brian Senecal, Kevion Clark, and Jalen Moore Tucker. Kevion Clark, he'll drive baseline, can't finish. Akumba pulls it down. Here come the Lions. Tyrell Miller brings it past half court to Akumba. Tries to get around Senecal, finds an open Carden Edwards. He'll get around the defender, finds Akumba in the paint, fouled on the way, and one. Akumba with his first offense of the afternoon. .6'2", third-year guard out of Ottawa, Ontario. That's good for one. Cougars playing with a little bit of urgency here. They know this game is still within reach because, yeah, you see a 24-point deficit on the scoreboard, but a few good shots and you're right back in it. And as the Lions experienced last weekend, as the three will roll out for Edwards, that even a double-digit lead can evaporate in a matter of seconds as the Mohawk Mountaineers hit that buzzer beater to win, 98-96. Definitely a sore spot for the Lions, but that was the first time they had lost all season, including the preseason. And as they say in sports, sometimes you just got to learn how to lose. And so far, the Lions have bounced back very well from that loss. 24-point lead right now, 77-53. They lead the Sault Cougars here.
Take it back now, y'all.
In the fourth quarter.
One hop this time. Right foot, let's start.
Just after 6
Left
o'clock,
foot,
we
let's
will
go.
bring you the women's game.
Cha-cha, real smooth.
More OCAA basketball action. Same matchup like we mentioned,
Turn
Lambton
left.
Lions versus the Sioux Cougars.
To the left.
And we hope you'll stick
Take it
around
back
for
now,
that one.
y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's start. Left foot, let's start. Cha-cha now, y'all. Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left. Take it
Like I
back now,
mentioned too,
y'all.
the Sioux Cougars, still
One
playing
hop
with a
this
sense
time.
of urgency and still
One hop
playing
this
as if they
time.
have a shot in this one,
Right
which
foot,
they most
two
certainly do.
Left foot, two starts.
The 1-0 Sioux
Slide to
Cougars,
the
and they
left.
have not been able to say
Slide
that
to the
for a
right.
very long time.
Crisscross.
Going into last week, going into the start of this
Crisscross.
season, they had lost 60
Cha-cha, real
consecutive
smooth.
regular season games. You had to go back to 2016 before you could find them in the win column. But now they have a win. They have exercised that demon, and they are trying to make sure that a new losing streak doesn't start, but they could be on their way to one today. As they do hold off Darius Canty, it will be Cougars ball. Lambton Lions, meanwhile, have won 11 consecutive games against the Sioux Cougars. Last time they lost to the Sioux, got to go back to November 16th, 2013. 71-68 overtime loss. Okiki to hand off to Senecal. In the top of the paint, that is Kevion Clark. Turnaround jumper will miss. Here comes Tyrell Miller to Carden Edwards. Edwards was going to try and find Canty there, tries it again. Pass is picked off by Okiki, and back come the Cougars. Driving fast, Stephen Miller. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for two. Tyrell Miller saying, "Are you sure?" And the ref nods his head over at Tyrell saying, "Yes, I'm quite certain that was a foul." Simon Wall will re-enter the game for the Sioux Cougars, the only player for them in double digits this afternoon. He's got 22, leading all scorers. As that one is good for Miller. Stephen Miller goes 2 for 2 from the line. Akumba inbounding to Tyrell Miller. He'll bring it past half court. And off to Akumba. Back to Miller. Tyrell Miller, bit of an opening. He finds Darius Canty. Canty can't collect it. Here come the Cougars. As Simon Wall splits the defenders, it'll roll out though. Kevion Clark with another offensive rebound. As Okiki's there to finish. And really, offensive rebounds are what has kept the Sioux Cougars in this game. Significantly out-rebounding, at least in the offensive category. As back they come, Simon Wall. Cross court to Kevion Clark. Clark drives baseline, gets around Miller and Canty. And there's the putback. Not sure if that's going to be credited to Moore Tucker or Clark. Van Dyke from the corner, that'll rattle out. And here come the Cougars once again. Okiki, handoff to Wall. He's looking three, yes. And the lead for the Lions is reduced to 15. And I got a feeling they're one possession away from calling a timeout here if it doesn't go in their favor. Van Dyke open for three, nails it. And a whole set of fresh legs over at the scorekeeper's table for the Lions as Hegedus, Reed, Watson, Peters will all check in next whistle. Clark off the glass, no good, and another second chance set of points for Jalen Moore Tucker. That's going to put him into double digits. 6:26 to go here, 80-64. The Lambton Lions lead the Sioux Cougars in OCAA men's basketball action. Carden Edwards is stripped by Moore Tucker. The handoff to Simon Wall, and here comes that timeout. as the lead for the Lions has been reduced to 16, and the ghost of last Saturday is, I think, making his presence known. The same ghost that evaporated the lead against the Mohawk Mountaineers, and I got a feeling that's a discussion. I don't know if it's a discussion happening at the sideline, but I'm pretty sure that thought is going through someone's head right about now. As the lead has now been cut to 14, it is 80-66. Lions still lead the Sault Cougars. A double-digit lead with 5 minutes in a game of basketball means basically nothing. The Sault Cougars, Simon Wall really the story, 27 points for them. On the other side for the home Lambton Lions, Tybell Peters with his first 20-point game of the season. He's leading Lambton in scoring in this contest. And here come the veterans, Tybell Peters, Jason Watts, DeAndre Reed, Danish Hegedus, Carden Edwards. Tybell Peters is going to inbound. He's got it now. Cross court to Carden Edwards. Jason Watts has it. DeAndre Reed. Hand off to Carden Edwards. Hegedus are trying to find their way into the paint. Hegedus is going to pull up. Long two, foot on the line. The shot is still well short. Here come the Cougars. Jalen Moore-Tucker can't float it in. We're going to say last off the hand of Moore-Tucker, it is Lions ball. .5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter, 80-66. Lions lead as Carden Edwards quickly getting it past half court. Tybell Peters over to Jason Watts. DeAndre Reed has it now. He fakes three. Tries to work his way around Clark. Thought he might have been fouled there on the way, but no good. As Jason Watts, his three is a little short. Pull up, lean in three, no good for number 9, Simon Wall. Trying to get to 30 points for the second consecutive game to start the season. Tybell Peters leans into that one. You're going to say foul on Stephen Miller? And in the virtual silence of the gym, the coaching staff of the Sault Cougars, with great emphasis, discussing defensively how it's going to play out the rest of the way, as Tybell Peters will hit his first free throw. He's up to 21. And Tybell Peters will go 2 for 2. Make it 22 for him, easily his best game of this young season so far. And a lightning fast passing game here from the Sault Cougars. Moore-Tucker, and that's what cost him. Outlet pass now to Tybell Peters. Can't track it, can't grasp it. They know an opportunity missed. It is Cougars ball. Okiki inbound to Miller. Now in the hands of Clark, back to Miller. There you go, that rapid ball movement all over the court. Got to be careful on those cross-court passes, though, when you send it through a lot of traffic like that, especially with some of the height-advantaged players like Jason Watts. He was able to pick that one off. Now in the hands of DeAndre Reed. He's got a couple of options. Hegedus now to Carden Edwards. Floats it back into Reed. Reed backs his way into the paint. He's stripped, and Simon Wall gets a hold of it. Now come the Cougars. Floating. Simon Wall can't quite do it. And on the fast break, Dinesh! My goodness, number 13, Dinesh Hegedus. And another pass with a little too much on it. Carden Edwards is found underneath. Tip in won't count, I don't think, for Reed there. Edwards will go to the line for 2. What a play, though, between the Lions there on the previous exchange. You can add that one to the highlight reel at the end of the season. 3:55 to go here. Lions lead it by a score of 84-66. Tyvel Peters leading the way for the Lions. He has 22. Jason Watts has 16. Carden Edwards with 13 points of his own. The bulk of those coming in the third quarter. When it turned into a version of NBA Jam where everyone was just launching threes, everyone was on fire for a couple of minutes there. Leading the way for the Cougars by far it is Simon Wall, sitting on 27 points. Kevion Clark and Jalen Moore-Tucker each have 10 of their own. Still, what's been keeping the Sioux in this game, one of the big stories has been offensive rebounds, second chances. You're seeing a lot of them on both sides, but especially for the Sioux. Carden Edwards is going to set up at the free throw line. He will shoot 2. First free throw is good for Carden Edwards. Second one good for Edwards, and the lead is restored to 20 now for the Lambton Lions. Simon Wall trying to drive baseline. Can't get the opening he needs. Now in the hands of Kevion Clark. Over to Okiki to Miller. Shot clock down to 5 as Miller drives, and it'll just creep up over the rim. Cougars bench trying to get a little more vocal to try and get him back into this contest as DeAndre Reed bobbles it. They're going to call him for a walk. It will be Cougars ball. Yanunga is going to enter the game for the Lambton Lions. The one they simply call B-Man. Rookie guard, 6'2", out of London, Ontario. Simon Wall, turnaround jumper, won't go for him. There's another O-board. However, the pass off the hands of Simon Wall, out of bounds. And it is Lambton Lions ball. 3:03 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lambton Lions lead the Sioux Cougars by a score of 86-68. However, a lot of the big names out there for the Lambton Lions. I think some nerves still from last week about the fourth quarter lead against the Mohawk Mountaineers that evaporated. There's Tyvel Peters with another 2. He's up to 24. What a game he's had. Answering back is Valentino Kiki, rookie guard out of Calgary, Alberta. Carden Edwards can't float it in. B-Man fighting hard, but can't collect the loose ball. Hagedus trying to draw the foul, and he does. Textbook offensive foul draw there by Hagedus. Tyvel Peters has it now. He'll bring it past half court to Hagedusche. Was thinking three, still might. No, he tries to get around the defender. Pass splits them, gets to DeAndre Reed. Lands a little short, but he's fouled. He'll shoot two. I think now just based on the body language from both teams, both sides resigned to the fact that the result is almost locked in here. As first free throw from Reed will miss. It is 88-70. The Lambton Lions lead the Sault Cougars. 2:09 to go here in the fourth. However, head coach James Grant for the Lambton Lions not taking any chances. 3 of the 5 starters still out on the court. Pass goes behind the back of Okiki, gets it. Screen gets set for him. Moore Tucker tries to back his way in. He feeds. Kevion Clark goes up and under. Gets his own rebound. Almost got his own rebound again, but there's Carden Edwards to collect it. Here come the Lions. Want to increase that lead just a little bit to make sure the result's certain off the foot of DeAndre Reed. And they're going to call jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Lions. Shaq Seymour, number 5, will enter the game. Hagedusche will take a seat, number 13 for the Lions. Jaden Grisdale for the Cougars will see his first action of the afternoon. Seymour gets around him. That's good for 2. And with the lead at 21 points for the Lambton Lions, minute 24 to go. You never want to speak too soon in the game of basketball, but it is starting to look like the Lions will put another one in the win column. Anthony Hall, he's going to go to the line for 2. 5'10" rookie guard out of Toronto. You'll see the word rookie a lot if you look at the Cougars roster. Only 3 returning players from last year. First free throw is good for Hall. Second free throw from Hall is good. He goes 2 for 2. Quick substitution made here. Tyler Grievers, number 24. Third-year forward, 6'8", out of Woodstock, Ontario, will check in for DeAndre Reed. Carden Edwards will bring it to half court. To B-Man. Fakes 3, hands it off to Edwards. Real 3 attempt, and that's how it's done. Carden Edwards. That's going to give him 18 points this afternoon, well above his season average of about 7. Minute 3 to go. Lions lead the Cougars 94-72. As number 1, Stephen Miller will go to the line for 2. He is one of the 3 returning players from last year's Sault Cougars roster. Second year of eligibility, 5'11" guard out of Toronto. As the Lions faithful continue to make their presence known, their volume hasn't come down much since the beginning of the game. Off the top of the backboard and out of bounds, it is Lions ball. Shaq Seymour, number 5, he's going to inbound to number 21, Carden Edwards. This is usually the point in the game with this much of a lead where you'd see some more of the support staff on the court, but still a couple of starters out there. As Shaq is fouled, he gets to go to the line for 2. Kind of grasping at his face there. Looks like he might have taken a hand off that corner of the jaw. In comes from Petrolia, number 14. That is Mason Hyde. Second year, 6'3" forward. out of Petrolia, Ontario. Tyrell Miller back on the court as well for the Lions, number 2. First free throw from Shaq will rattle out. Second one will rattle in for Shaq Seymour. 52 seconds to go, and I think it's safe to say that the result of this one is pretty much certain. The Lions are going to add one to the win column here. And the Sault Cougars still playing with some heart, though. Stephen Miller drives. He is fouled, and the ref says 2. Sault Cougars will take their first loss of the season. Albeit brief. Another chance to stay ahead in the standings against such teams like the Niagara Knights, the Humber Hawks, some of the powerhouses of the Western Conference here in the OCAA. Second free throw from Stephen Miller is good. 38 seconds left in this one. Tyrell Miller, the rookie, brings it to half court. Hand off to Shaq Seymour. B-man. Off his foot, collected by Anthony Hall. Here he comes on the fast break. And they're going to say he carried it. It is Lions ball. And with the new possession there, the shot clock will turn off. 23.6 seconds to go in this contest. Miller still pressing on Miller. Seymour has it. Pass intercepted. Lions get it back. 10 seconds remain here, and Miller's just going to kind of walk it around a little bit. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. There's a hug from opponents. Jalen Moore-Tucker. And with that, the Lambton Lions are victorious once again. Lions will move to 2-1 on the season. The Sault Cougars will drop to 1-1, and this matchup will take place all over again tomorrow. Just after 1 o'clock, live here at the Lions Den. It will be broadcast later in the day on your TV. And we certainly thank you for joining us this afternoon. Stick around. OCAA women's basketball just after 6 o'clock. The tip-off here, it is the same matchup, Lambton Lions and Sault Cougars. But for the men's game this afternoon, your final score has been removed. Live TV, folks, what can you say? But I'll tell you what, Lions win by 20. How's that? Not much you can do about that. Hey, you know what? It's been a blast. Thank you as always. We'll see you again next time. And stick around, OCAA women's basketball joining us in just a few moments here. Stay with us.